has officially gone from this cool new thing to the only thing anyone talks about in markets. If you own the big semiconductor and mega cap tech names, your portfolio probably looks pretty good on paper right now. But here's the question: what if the easy part of the AI trade is behind us? In today's video, I want to build on the second phase of AI video we did recently and talk about what comes after the boom, how to think about concentration risk, how to realize some gains without abandoning AI, and where you might redeploy into lagging names with real potential. Let's start with a quick recap of where we are. Over the last couple of years, a very small group of AI-linked names, the magnificent chips, and a handful of mega-cap platforms have done a lot of the heavy lifting for the US indices. If you own broad US equity funds, you think you are diversified. But under the hood, a big chunk of your return has likely come from that same small group of AI winners. We've already talked about how phase 1 is usually hype plus multiple expansions, and phase 2 is about actual earnings, cash flows, and who can execute. We're now somewhere in that transition. Expectations are sky high, valuations are rich, and any wobble in earnings or guidance gets punished very quickly. So if your portfolio feels a little bit like a one-way bet on AI and semiconductors, that's not an accident. Let's talk about concentration risk in simple terms. Concentration risk is when too much of your outcome depends on a few names or a single theme. That can feel great on the way up, the winners are carrying everything, until they stop. Then suddenly, your diversified portfolio behaves like a single stock. We're already seeing signs of fatigue. Profit-taking in some of the big AI names, day-to-day volatility that's much higher than the broader market, and this weird situation where the index can be flat, but your AI stocks are swinging 3 to 5% in a session, sometimes even more. None of this means AI is over. It just means the risk and reward has changed. The upside from here is competing with real downside. If growth expectations get revised down, or if we simply go through a period of digestion. Now let's get practical. What do you do with all this? I'm not a fan of all in or nothing. You don't have to go from AI maximalist to AI hater overnight. Instead, think in terms of realizing some gains, rebalancing, and intentionally spreading your bets. Here's a simple framework. If a single AI or semiconductor name has grown to, say, 20 to 25% of your portfolio, that's a huge single stock bet. You can trim that position back to more reasonably weighted, maybe back toward your original allocation, and lock in some of these paper gains. The key is you're not abandoning the story. You are recognizing that part of the job as an investor is to harvest profits when price gets ahead of fundamentals. You can say to yourself, this stock has done the heavy lifting for my portfolio. I am grateful. I'm just not going to let it single-handedly decide my financial future. Where can these proceeds go? In phase 2, the winners aren't just the headline chip makers. It is the ecosystem around them, and in some cases, totally different sectors that benefit from the productivity gains. A few directions to consider: always doing your own homework or working with an advisor. Second derivative AI plays, infrastructure, industrials, and select financials that benefit from AI investment and automation, but haven't been bid up to the same extremes. Think like data centers, power and grid companies, or service firms that actually implement AI for businesses. Quality laggards, sectors that have solid balance sheets, steady cash flows, but simply have not captured the same excitement. Maybe parts of healthcare, consumer staples, or diversified industrials. Broad diversification tools, things like equal weight indices, mid-caps, or even international exposure that reduce your reliance on a handful of US megacaps. The idea isn't to find the next Nvidia or AMD. The idea is to build a portfolio where multiple different stories can work for you over the next decade. So to wrap it up, AI has already delivered incredible gains for early investors. The second phase of AI, the earnings, the real-world adoption, is where things get more nuanced and where concentration risk becomes very real. You don't have to love or hate AI. You can appreciate what it has done for your portfolio, take some profits, and reinvest into lagging but solid opportunities. If you found this helpful, check out the earlier video on the second phase of AI for more of the long-term framework behind this. Remember, if you are tired of hot takes and want markets with actual math, hit subscribe and let the algorithm know you prefer facts over vibes.